Red Dead Redemption 2 is Rockstar's greatest creation. I will argue that until the day I die. But the game has kind of faded out of the public limelight recently, and that's probably because it's just a few years old, and it's honestly no fault of its own. It's just that Grand Theft Auto 6 is knocking on the door, and people are understandably excited to jump back into Vice City. But I wanted to take a few minutes and go over why I think this game is so loved by so many fans. I honestly think one of the main reasons why this game performed so well and is loved by so many people is the fact that it's the prequel to Red Dead Redemption, which is another great entry in its own right. But this go around, Rockstar created probably one of the greatest protagonists of all time in Arthur Morgan. Arthur's story as of right now is just enclosed to just one game, even though I wish it was enclosed to more. But his story and the time in the Vanderlyn gang is one of the best written campaigns in recent memory. I would even go as far as saying it's the best story ever written by Rockstar. And I mean ever. And that's like no offense to Grand Theft Auto, but I played Red Dead Redemption 2 multiple times and haven't lost any interest in it at all. I'm not saying this to try to be different, I promise. This is just my honest opinion on the game. I can't say the same for Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, I played the story mode a few times, but it just doesn't captivate me like this one does. And not only do we get to experience Arthur, we also get to experience the early life of the rest of the gang. I mean, that means we get to learn about old faces like Bill, Javier, Dutch, and everybody's favorite cowboy John. And if you've played the game, you realize that all of this culminates with one of the most heartbreaking endings to a story that you could even ever think of. And yeah, the story is magnificent. I mean, I can't remember the last time I was so emotionally invested into a story with all its plot twists and turns and heartbreak, and the last time I've been so endeared to a character. But I mean, I think it would be naive to say that the story is the only thing that makes this game great. I mean, the location is mind-blowing as well. It takes us through multiple different locations, all with their own unique points of interest. And not only do we get to view the game's take on the other southern states, along with New Austin, but we also get to experience, vast Great Plains and mountains of the northern territories. This is obviously a vast upgrade from just the arid desert locations of Red Dead Redemption, but I mean, at least Rockstar was good enough to give us New Austin reimagined, so good on them, brownie points for that. And Rockstar decided to fill that gigantic open world map with even more storytelling. If you guys remember Red Dead Redemption 1, you definitely remember all the weird, creepy ass strangers missions in that game. Rockstar decided to double that and give it back. And obviously one of the main draws to the game is playing as the early Vanderlyn gang through their first experiences and seeing how everything led up to Red Dead Redemption 1. But Rockstar decided that they're not only going to give us character development and building through the main story, they decided to add the bulk of the character development and growth through the Stranger's side missions. I mean, if you guys have played the Nun's story and Hamish's story, you know exactly what I'm talking about, both for John and Arthur. But luckily for us, Rockstar decided that they didn't want to keep things too serious because they also gave us quite a few fun and interesting Stranger's side quests as well. I mean, look at the ones where you help the fella take pictures of wildlife, you become a detective and help catch a crazy serial killer in the Wild West. Hell, you even get kidnapped by aliens, I think. So it's pretty great that Rockstar kept these kind of, fun, joyful missions in there as well, because the game and the side missions can get kind of heavy. I promise I'm not just trying to glaze the story mode for this game, but it's honestly magnificent. But I feel like one of the game's least applauded aspects is the game's soundtrack. Not only do we get a hell of an ambient soundscape, but the songs that are curated for the poignant missions help tie up the whole experience. And I feel like this is something that gamers appreciate when they can fall in love with the game and the characters, but also with the music. I mean, look how that's worked for games like Halo, The Elder Scrolls, and even Grand Theft Auto with all of its radio stations. Major brownie points for this one, Rockstar. The game isn't without its flaws though. I mean, I think the story mode and the gameplay in the story mode is damn near perfect, but the online experience for this game was definitely not its strong point. I mean, I feel like this is where its counterpart Grand Theft Auto excels over it. The online experience was so boring, at least to me. I mean, if you had a great time and enjoyed it, then I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. However, when it was first released, it was so grindy that you would have to spend months killing birds to get feathers to sell for pennies on the dollar just to upgrade your gear. I mean, honestly, I haven't really played it since then, but I would hope that that's changed. And I've heard that they've added multiple more ways to obtain in-game currency, but for most people, they don't remember the online aspect of this. There are the people out there who do the role-playing and, things like that, and more power to you, but it was definitely not the strong point of Red Dead Redemption 2. And I honestly just think it's because Rockstar was pouring so many resources into Grand Theft Auto Online still that they didn't give Red Dead Online the love and respect that it deserved. I don't think that the online mode is going to be, as great as GTA Online, but I didn't think it would fall as flat as it did when the game released. Like, I'm not sure that people remember Red Dead Redemption's online mode, but it was miles above Red Dead Redemption 2. Granted, that was quite a while ago, so they didn't really have to throw as much into it as they would have to now. It's just kind of a shame that the online experience was kind of meh. I'm not going to complain too much because I could just log in and play the story mode over and over again because there's still things that I miss, and I'm okay with that. But it is kind of upsetting that the online experience didn't get as much love and respect that it deserved from the developers. Now, the original Red Dead Redemption is a game that is still talked about today. The original story of John was amazing back when it was released, and with the release of Red Dead Dead Redemption 2, it kind of even makes it even better. Hell, the DLC for that game is still applauded by us gamers today. Unfortunately, it seems like Rockstar is just content with adding online content to its games now, so Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't get that same benefit. The story is enough to carry it though, but it would have been nice to see some added, DLC content after the fact. I guess, spoiler alert here, if it would have been John, unless there was some more prequel stuff, but we'll never really know. Red Dead Redemption 2 was just many things, and I feel like everything that it was just fantastic. The story was mind-blowing. The world that we got to experience with the new states as well as New Austin, that kind of was just nostalgic and great in that aspect. And then just hearing the music that they all put together just created this experience that was pretty much one in a lifetime. I mean, yeah, it lost to God of War for Game of the Year in 2018, but if God of War hadn't been out, and I mean, you could even argue that this game still should have won Game of the Year. It's just mind-blowing, the masterpiece that Rockstar created when they created Red Dead Redemption 2. And like I stated earlier, and I will definitely die on this hill, Arthur's story is probably the best that Rockstar has ever created. I was genuinely upset at the end of the game with how everything turned out, but it was more kind of like, a sad it ended feeling compared to a sad that the game was disappointing. And I'll take that any day of the week. But yeah, it was one of the first times that I was so emotionally connected with the story and with the character that I was left broken at the end of the game. And that's what makes it so great. Now, I like so many others, I'm excited to know what GTA 6 is going to shape up like. But until we get experience Vice City again, and if it holds a candle to Red Dead Redemption 2, till that time, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to sit atop the throne regarding Rockstar games to me. At least, that's what I think. And with that, I want to thank everybody for watching the video. If you liked it, please don't hesitate to hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you want to follow along and see more videos like this, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way in helping the channel grow. Thank you very much, guys, and until next time.